Hey folks, it's Brad LeDrew here at Western GM in Drumheller, Alberta, Canada. And today we're looking at our very first 2020 GMC Sierra Denali 2500 in the 6.6 liter V8 direct injected variable valve timing gasoline, all new gasoline engine. Now, that's an awesome engine. You've got 401 horsepower, 464 foot-pounds of torque, paired with a 6-speed automatic. That's 11% more horsepower than the outgoing 6-liter and 22% more torque, okay? The truck is redesigned from the ground up, so there's so many things to talk about. I'm just going to jump into it. I'm going to start walking around talking about everything. So the biggest thing that GM did is all about capabilities. So the capabilities across the board are up, and they've achieved that by, you've got a new upgraded driveline, you've got more robust front and rear axles, you got 11.5-inch ring gear in the back, even your brakes and rotors. And if you've watched previous videos, I've talked about this before, but when you take a look, the brakes and rotors are over 40% in the front bigger than the outgoing generation, and they are the new Duralife rotors. So again, if you notice, this is something that's got no corrosion or rust on the rotors, and all GM does with that is that a normal rotor is baked in the oven for its longevity and for it to be hard, so it doesn't warp when you do hard brakes and you're trailering, and GM just adds nitrogen to that environment and it makes it anti-corrosive, so it doesn't get glazed and rust on it as easily as a normal rotor would. So that's awesome Duralife rotors. Your truck looks slick and clean all the time. And as well, you can see here we've got a beautiful 20-inch alloy wheel that's got the chrome center cap. I like that. And you've got a really capable Wrangler all-terrain tire here as well. So moving on over, you can see here we've got the GMC marker lights. That's exclusive to GMC. When we talk about GMC, we say professional grade. You can see you've got these fender liners here to protect your body so you don't get the pinging and panging, the chips on the edge of the vehicle. You've got the felt line Kevlar backed wheel liners both in the front and rear, again for noise, harshness, vibration inside the cabin, so again you don't hear gravel and all that sort of stuff, so you get a quieter, smoother, more comfortable ride. If you're a Canadian, you know what this is. This is important. This is where your block heater plugs in right there. Moving on over, you can see here you got the really nice HD in the headlights here, and these are all LED marker lights, daytime running lights, fog lights, and high beams. They're all LEDs. You can see we've got the sonar sensors in the front as well. That's your beep, 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 beep sensors. Let's move on around here. Very, very sharp. You can see you got the new trailer mirrors there as well, and they do a couple things that the old generation didn't do, so let's get into that here in a second. But great looking, beautiful truck. You can see that badge, 6-liter V8. So what's new with these mirrors, of course, like a normal trailer mirrors, these power fold in, and they power extend. But if you notice, they've got these LED lights here. So there's a little button you can push on the driver's side door, and these will light up, and that way they'll light up the front of your work site or wherever you're doing some work. As well as, just like the outgoing generation, you got this light here, and this light shines right back here, basically right in this area by the rear tailgate and tire, and hits the ground so that when you're backing up, you're trying to get around a corner, park your trailer tight to your home or your shop, that way you can see what's on the ground behind you as well, which is a really, really slick thing. Another thing you notice here, we've added the GM mud flaps, and like I said in a previous video, these are a couple $100 for a pair. Okay, you can see we've got the 6-inch chrome, the new chrome boards. Okay, and those are the full length boards. So if you notice back here, I can put my foot right here, and then I can put my other foot right here, and now I'm inside the box. Right, so this is an all new thing as well as we got the front corner step. Fantastic for getting in and out of the truck. If you notice here, you can see this texturized, this little bit of rubberized coating goes all the way back here, and you can see also back here. And again, that's just to protect your paint as time goes by because of the road rash and stuff that you pick up from rocks and stuff on the road, sand, that sort of stuff. Okay. Also, you can see we got those flaps with the GMC logo on them on the rear as well. The corner step now is bigger and deeper than it was in the previous generation. So again, just put your foot in there, You got a little handle right there, and now you're in the back of the truck. Pretty sweet. Let's go to the back, do a quick overview. Obviously, when you go into the SLT, the AT4, or the Denali, you get the power down tailgate. Okay. And also, this is a multi-pro tailgate. So here you've got a nice gap stop. So if you've got a quad or whatnot, some lumber, so it doesn't slide out, which is fantastic. Pretty straightforward how this works. So you got 2 buttons right here. So 1 button, 2 button, you just pull on this handle, and now you're getting in and out of the back of the truck. Really, really slick. You can get a speaker upgrade for these. So again, if you want some tailgate party, that sort of stuff, have a bit of fun on the job site, pretty slick. You can see you've got this big handle here as well. So again, locks in, just pull on this, falls back down into place. You can see we got our trailer in the trailer wiring inside the box here as well. You got 4-pin, 7-pin. You can see we've got the factory 5th wheel prep package. Okay, we can see we got the Denali spray and liner, so you know that's from the factory as well. Moving on over, you can see you've got the box lights, and also you've got the 120 volt power plug-in back here for your charging your volt batteries, that sort of stuff on the job site, maybe some lights, that sort of thing. And you can see you got 1, 2, 3 tie down hooks in the corners on all 4 corners, and they're rated at over 500 pounds each. Whoops. You can see we also with the Denali got the power sliding rear window. But again, when we talk about trucks, okay, we talk about capabilities. So again, this is a gross combined weight rating 24,000 pounds because it's a 2500 HD gas. Okay, you can traditionally hitch tow. So again, just hooking up to the back right here, you've got 14,500 pounds, and if you use the 5th wheel or a gooseneck in the back of this truck, you're up to 16,900 pounds max towing. And your payload in the back of this truck, the max payload in a 2500 HD gas is 3,862 pounds. Now, you've heard me say this before, a pound in and a pound out rule applies, right? So this Denali from the factory came with these oval boards. And again, you can get this truck with the premium leather like this one, or if you went with a lower trim, you would get, say, your cloth seats and a few other things that are less. And for that, every pound you add to the truck or you take away from the truck will increase the payload in the back of this vehicle, as the same thing with your occupants. So say if you've got 2 friends that are 300 pounds each, now that 3,800 pounds of payload drops down to 3,200 pounds of payload because you've got 600 pounds of occupants inside the truck. So just keep that in mind when you're trailering. Let's just duck down low here. Another thing with the capabilities, you've got the new all 2500 HDs come with a 10.5 inch ring gear in the back. And boy, this thing is not focusing today. I apologize, folks. So you get a 10.5 inch ring gear and a 2500. When you go to a 3500, if you go diesel, you get a 12 inch ring gear. And what that means is you get 0 torque conversion. So 100% of your torque goes straight to the rear wheels in a 3500. You can see you got the Rancho dual tube shock. So they're a more heavy duty shock than a standard, say, an SLE or an SLT truck would have, unless you got the optional X31 package as well. You can see your spare tires up and under like it's been for many years. You've got the Sonar Sensors in the back as well. And if you notice right here, this is a really neat thing. So you've got another power plug-in right here, or another trailer and connector right here. But you can see this is for optional cameras. So you can have up to 15 different camera views in this truck. And 2 of these cameras is optional. And you can put one inside your horse trailer, and you can push a button on your dash so that you can see inside that horse trailer. Same thing, you can put a wireless camera on the back of your trailer, and when you put it in reverse, it'll actually show you that backup camera on the back of your trailer. The truck's smart enough to know that. So that's really, really slick as well. Another big thing when you look at our 2500 and 3500 HD trucks is You've got a fully independent front suspension with a digital variable steering assist as well. They're both designed to improve your handling and reduce driver fatigue. So that's another big thing when it comes to the handling and the quality of these trucks as well. And you've got a minimum of 12 inches of ground clearance in this truck as well. Moving on over, you can see you've got the capless fuel door as well. You've got the proximity sensor. So again, you just touch this once, unlocks just this door. Touch twice, unlocks everything. Moving inside, we can see here we've got really premium leather, a high grain leather more than the other outgoing trucks. The Denali gets a little bit special leather inside with real wood inside the vehicle as well. Okay, moving on over, you can see the perforation on the seats. Looks really sharp. You've got the new seat back storage as well. Big center console armrest as well. Moving over, you can see we've got heated seats in the back for GM. It's a first for us. And 3 levels of heat. You've got a USB-C, a USB, and an old style auxiliary power outlet as well. Let's give you a quick overview inside. And I'm just gonna start this bad boy right up. So first off, driver's side door here. You can see you got all your power door locks, mirrors, power windows, all that sort of stuff. And then you've got some buttons here. Oh, stereo's on. So for example, this button is the power extending. So you can see here, power extend your mirrors out. And then also you got the power fold right there. Power fold in. There we go. Okay. This is kind of what those mirrors look like when they're out. Real quick, nice. Now, when you look inside the driver's seat here, you've got a full 10-way power memory driver's seat and a 10-way power passenger seat. See the Denali badging up on the headrest, Denali badging on the door sill as well, the premium cloth floor mats. You know, sometimes a lot of these trucks will put the floor liners in, but we just want to order it with the premium floor liners or premium cloth floor mats. You can kind of see what those look like as well. Now, obviously, we got some other things to talk about here inside. So again, going back to capabilities and all that sort of stuff. So again, you've got your 2 high, your auto 4x4, your 4 high, and your 4 low. So that means because it's got the 4 low, this is a 2-speed transfer case, okay? And then you've got this jog dial that when I change, you can see we've got an off-road mode, and then we have a normal mode, okay? So you can see here, off-road, normal, okay? Pretty cool. And moving on over. And depending on what mode you change it to, it'll change the dampening on your steering, so you get more road feel. It'll change the throttle response on your pedal down low. It'll change the shift point, so you hold your gear or you shift more quickly. So really neat stuff as well. You can see the automatic headlights are here, your box light, your fog lights, and obviously your dash lights here as well. We can see we've got we're in Canada. Everybody loves a heated steering wheel in Canada. And we've got our forward collision alert. You can set your gap on your cruise control and your automatic braking. You've got your 2 buttons to control your infotainment system. So again, 1 button to give it a command or to receive a call, and 1 button to hang up. Pretty straightforward. Let's just go through the infotainment real quick. So again, you can see push button start is new as well. We got the heated seats with 3 levels of heat, or your cooled seats with 3 levels of cool as well. So set that how you like it. We've got our lane keep assist. We got our sonar assist. We can lower that tailgate from inside. Our hazard lights. You can see here we've got our traction control, stability control, enable that box light, and also we got the hill descent control. Trailer brake controllers right here, USB-C, USB, another auxiliary outlet for power, old style, and we got a new power outlet here as well. You've got a charging mat again that fits many phones, but not your ginormous phones that some people do have. Moving up, you have your infotainment system. So pretty straightforward stuff. This is all HD with your HD cameras. So they took a really good system in the old GMC Sierras, and they just made some really nice improvements to it. So you've got, touch for audio, hit home, Go to navigation. That's the first time it's loading, so it's probably going to take a quick second. But there you go. You can see your navigation, home, slide across, trailering. This is a world's first that you can use your phone outside the truck, and you can test all your lights and your brakes and all that sort of stuff with your phone, with your trailering app. And another thing is that when you connect your trailer and you use your key fob to lock up your truck, if anybody disconnects your trailer, what it'll do is it'll set off your truck alarm. So it's got the world's first trailer theft alert as well. You can see how quick this is. You can touch camera, and now we can see this is what's in front of us. Touch it here, we can see what's behind us, and you can see your surround vision or your bird's eye view camera right there as well. You got your different trailer views as well, but you have up to 15 camera views in this truck as well. We can also see that we've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so if you like the familiarity of your own iPhone or your Android phone with your iTunes, with your own music, with your Google Waypoints and all that sort of stuff, this will, instead of using GM's embedded navigation, it'll use the navigation on your phone, which we all know is better for driving around because it's always up to date and gives you traffic, things like that, which is really cool. GM has an option with real-time traffic alerts and all that sort of stuff with their system as well. That does require an OnStar subscription. You can see we've got 4G LTE Wi-Fi. We've had that in our truck since 2014. You've got your outside temperature sensor, your time, all pretty straightforward stuff. We also have here's your normal rear view mirror. And if you just flick this is your panoramic rear view mirror. And again, you got some options here, so you can just touch this button here to go to your brightness, go to zoom, right? And you can also go to your pitch or your angle. So depending on how you want to see it when you're driving. I really like this when I'm in town. When I'm on the highway, I don't like to use it, but in town, I think it's fantastic. You also have the sunroof in this Denali as well, with the big center console and armrest here, which is really slick. Very big storage inside. You can see we've got our SD card navigation, USB-C, USB, and an old style auxiliary, say for an old iPod shuffle, that sort of thing. Moving on forward here, you can see we've got the heads-up display, and that's a customizable up to 15-inch display. Really, really neat. You notice it says 0 kilometers an hour, and then to the right it says blank. It also says the same thing down here. So when you're driving on the road, this actually will use the front cameras, and that will give you the speed of that area that you're in. So when you get into those transition zones from 90K to 70K down to 50, this sign here will change to that speed to 50. If you're in a school zone, it'll change down to 30. So I really like that, so you don't get caught with a ticket, that sort of thing. I think it's a really slick thing that GM did as well. There's so much safety to talk about, so many other things. I could talk about side blind zone alert, rear cross traffic alert, all kinds of things like that. But you know what? Then I'd be getting, really long in it. So the last thing to talk about here, and one of the very most important things, is how GM has taken the guesswork out of these trucks by putting this trailering information sticker right in the door jambs of all of our 2020 half tons and HD trucks. So again, if you want to know what the curb weight of this specific truck as equipped from the factory, what its payload is, what its max tongue weight or its max gooseneck weight that it can tow, your conventional towing, again, like I mentioned before, it says 14,500 pounds and 16,600 pounds in this one. So you've got all that stuff right at your fingertips, so you know what to do, you know how to trailer safely and properly. But there you go. That's a really quick, but thorough walk around on our very first 2020 GMC Sierra Denali 2500 gas. So another one-take shoot from Brad here at Western, and like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff, and get down to your local GM store. Take it for a drive. That's what you need to do. And this is the brand new color. Okay, this is the new Pacific Blue on the Dark Walnut, Dark Ash leather interior. I know a lot of people just pick black leather, but that's why I wanted to get one a little bit different. So you got this new blue on the outside with the dark ash, dark walnut, dark ash interior. But there you go, folks. Thank you so much. Have a great day.